So I'm joined today with Kathy Dore, one of our very own teachers here at St. David. She has actually been here the longest at St. David. So I am so excited to hear about your experiences.
Well, I didn't start off in elementary. I actually started off teaching in high school. And before that, I was actually in the business field.
Really?
And I had always wanted to be a teacher, but people convince you not to. They always have all these stories. And so I had gone into insurance and bank. I worked for TD Bank. And then I said, no, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. I am going back to be a teacher. And I was going to be a business math teacher in high school, and that's what I started off as at St. Charles College.
You started with the older kids, and
I did.
You made your way to elementary.
I did. I was surplus at St. Charles College, and I'm very spiritual. God kept sending me signs. I was trying to ignore them, and I was not successful. And then an opening for grade 7 at St. David's School, the one down the street, why I'm pointing this way, came up, and we had two wonderful, like a principal and a vice principal there, John Rodriguez and Don Hopkins. And I heard so many fantastic things. And so I said, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to try going to elementary. And I'm really glad I had the time to be able to work with both of them. They were really, really amazing mentors to be able to work with. And so I started off with grade 7 at St. David I think it was 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A little before my time there.
A little before your time. Might have been a little bit close to when you were like a toddler.
Well, there's you are through and through a teacher. The way your cadence and the way you speak to kids, I see you in the teacher role, and it's so amazing that you transitioned from business to education, because you have done this for a long time now, and you seem like you absolutely love your job and helping these kids, and you have helped a lot of kids. Just before our podcast started, you were telling me you have parents, they've given you gifts and stuff and reached out.
It's really more the letters, the people who've reached out, and when I've gotten a few letters just saying, thank you, you don't know much of a difference you've made in my child's life. And really that is so, because that's what I'm not here to teach curriculum. I'm here to teach kids.
Exactly.
And I would really love for them to have a passion for, learning about themselves and getting better and having goals for themselves. I'm really hoping they'll stay in school.
Yeah.
And school's not for everybody though. But feel good about yourself. Feel good about coming to school. And I mean, what better of a role do I have being someone who helps kids learn how to read, if they're struggling with that, or maybe with some of their math skills. But if you were paying attention to the background, I'm a business math teacher who teaches kids how to read. Because reading was I was not a great reader growing up. I would not be surprised if I don't have a learning disability. Reading was really hard for me.
Yeah.
And when I'm teaching reading now, or when I first started, I was amazed at all the things the rules I did not know that I really wish I had known when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I'm able to apply those. And so I really I'm very understanding to kids going through the struggles of maybe something not being as easy for them as it is for some of their friends. Because some people, some of the kids I talk to, they're like, I knew how to read since I was little. And for some kids, reading was really that simple for them. So I feel very lucky to have the job I have, being able to be part of kids' journeys. So.
And you're able to relate, right? Like you just said, you're not sure if you had a learning disability growing up or not, but you understand what it's like to not want to read. But there you come in, you're motivating, you're helping, and you work with smaller groups, right? So you can really hone in on what it is that you want to focus on and really inspire and help those kids, which I think is amazing. And they're pretty excited when they come to you.
They really are. I do not get a lot of moan or groan. I mean, if they're doing something fun in class, I'll be like, did you want to miss today? I don't give them the option very often. So when I do, they know I'm being honest about that. You can miss today if you want. I would never want them to miss out on something fantastic going on in the classroom or outside or whatever it is, that activity that they might be doing. But that means that when they do see me, okay, we're a little bit behind. Let's focus a little bit more. And but they're very proud of themselves. You could see the kids, they're really amazed. When we do, I'm very honest with kids.
You are.
I'm very honest with them. I let them know you are reading behind. You're a little, but there's some things we can do to help you. It's not you're reading behind, you'll never be a reader. Our goal is to become a reader. And I really hope someone who loves reading. I mean, I love reading now.
Yes.
Did not love reading then, but I did love reading once I started getting better at it. And that's my goal. I really hope one day they're going to pick up a novel and be like, I can read this and be so excited to do that. So,
oh, that's amazing, Kathy. What kept you working at St. David's for so long?
The kids.
Just
like, it's as simple as that. The kids are wonderful. The kids are so appreciative of they are. They're so thankful. They're appreciative of your time. They are really genuine, and I have no, it's the kids. I mean, not that some of my coworkers are fantastic. I work with a great bunch of people.
Yeah.
I mean, that also really helps. I have a fantastic principal. I have excellent colleagues. But a lot of my colleagues have changed. My principals have changed. The kids haven't. I know it's new kids, but the kids themselves haven't changed.
I guess when you've done a job for a while, you see a lot of people come and go, right, over the years. But I notice, especially coming to David's as like a newerish staff, that a lot of people that have worked here for a long time.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of staff that have been here because they love the dynamic of the school so much, and they love that the kids are so genuinely grateful. I mean, it's funny when you were telling that story, I was thinking about my day. I had a little boy I was reading with today in here, and then when we finished, he said, "Thank you for helping me."
I know,
like it's those little
wonderful?
things. It's like, hey, man, like that's what I do. Like I thank you for wanting to learn. And, it helps us feel good too, because we know that we're doing our job right. And I think David's, we're a special community. Like we have kids that come in that are just genuinely grateful to be at school.
Yes.
And that's kind of that sense of community that, I'm not saying I didn't get that at other schools, but I definitely feel that here.
And to be honest, like a lot of the teachers will realize if this is the school for them or not quite soon in their journey. And but we've been very lucky. We have a great support, like everybody. We get along really well. If you have a student you're a little bit confused by or not sure how to help, we have so many people to go to ask for help. Or what can I do to? You've taught this kid before. What can I do to help them be successful? But yeah, it's a nice community.
Like even me coming to you when I first started, like I was asking you questions on how to help certain students. Like I do recall that, and like it's like you said, like we can all kind of rely off each other, which like we're all just one big community. So it's really special that we can learn from one another on how to help kids. It's like one big safety net. Like we can support these children, and when they give it back to us and they're grateful, like that makes us feel.
It really does make it worth coming into work every day and seeing someone smile.
Yeah.
Or even just you see that they've grown. Like that is one of the great things about my job is because for some kids I work with just a small little time.
Yeah.
They just missed a couple little things along the way. Some kids I'm working with 3 years in a row. And so when I'll have a teacher talk to me about but you have no idea where they started and how much they've grown.
How much they've come along.
They have really grown so much. And there's so many kids like that. I'm amazed. I'll even see them later on in other years and be like, they've just come so far. I'm just so proud of them. And a big part of it is work ethic. They just, they want it, they do it, and they're, they try to. That being said, I do miss being in the classroom. My last grade 2 group just graduated last year because I had taught grade 7, then I taught learning strategies, then I went to grade 2 for, I don't know, 5 years maybe, and then went back into this reading resource teacher, but really I'm mostly a reading interventionist.
Yeah.
And seeing my grade 2s though leave, like there is something to be said. I do miss being in the classroom. Like being a classroom teacher is very rewarding as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure because you really develop more of those relationships with the kids and their parents, and you get to do lots of fun stuff. Like I teach reading all day, and I don't get to go on my hikes anymore. I do miss my hikes, and teaching math outside and doing some of those things. But that being said, I'm really glad I've gone into this job because I do see the need, and I do see how much the kids have grown.
You really
so.
value the growth over
I
the
do.
years. Like you start with these kids from very young age. You have them in your reading groups one year. You have them in your reading groups the next year, and you're
Hopefully
like,
not again. But sometimes I do. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Everyone learns at their own pace.
Exactly. So having done this a while, what advice would you give to new teachers coming into education in 2026?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, you're going to hear a lot. New teachers are going to hear a lot of negative stories. They are. That's part of the course. Things have changed in the course of my career. Things have changed in the course of your career.
Oh yeah.
But it's to remind yourself why you're doing the job. And if you're here for the right reasons, if you're here because you want to teach kids and you want to work with kids and help them grow, and I mean, the other stuff because there's going to be there's challenges teaching.
Yeah.
And but that will help you get through. I think sometimes teachers get a bad rap for getting into this with the wrong motivation.
Yeah.
You won't last if you're coming in with the wrong motivation. It's too hard of a job to be able to last if you're not being rewarded by the children and their, because that's really what gets you through, especially in primary. In high school, it might be a little bit different because again, it's been a really long time since I taught high school. But I would just say, try your best, build rapport with kids and your colleagues, and I mean, really, it's an amazing job.
It really is true. You have to get into this field for the right reasons. This isn't a job you can just do to get paid. You really have to want to get that kind of, that need to want to help children. You have to get that gratification of guiding them, and that's very rewarding in itself, right? When you see those kids make those gains, how good do you feel knowing that you help them, that they can read better now because of you, that they like to come see you. That's a very special thing that you offer these kids, and I think as a team we all have that ability to help them.
Absolutely.
It's very special.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you definitely.
I did try convincing my children to be teachers because that's how much I love the career, but that was a no-go.
What do you
never know.
What do they want to do?
One is going into welding, and the other wants to be a chiropractor.
Right on. Those are great careers too.
Yes.
So
yeah.
And so now that you're, you're ready to retire almost, but not quite. When you finally do, what do you most look forward to?
Oh, I have so many things planned. I am ready for retirement.
Yeah.
Not yet, though. Don't worry. For those of you who are no, don't retire
We still got Miss Dore for a bit, kids.
A couple more years. I already have some, I don't want to say old lady habits, but I do. I've taken up curling. I already crochet. I play bridge.
Yeah.
I love going for hikes outside. I'm a real outdoor enthusiast. I'm ready to, right now I could be ice fishing.
Yeah.
There's lots of, I have lots of ways to keep myself occupied. I'd like to do some more traveling with my husband. But yeah, I'm set up for.
Are you excited?
I really am very, you know what, I miss sleeping in. But I do think I also, in all of that, will still come back.
I think I can see you coming back. You love this job. You're very passionate about it. And I think you just love seeing that growth in our students.
But I think I'll do it on my own time.
On your own terms.
As a volunteer basis, come in and just, do some reading with some kids. I remember, do you remember that my old bridge partner, Jane, she used to come in and read with kids and whatever. And the kids loved it. They smiled and were so happy to read to her all the time. I mean, who doesn't want to come in and have kids just smile?
Be happy to see you.
Because someone's reading with you.
Yeah.
And so you never know.
I can see that for you. And then, like you were saying, you miss doing those certain things as a classroom teacher. Maybe you can come back and go on those, go on field trips with them and then volunteer for winter carnivals and stuff.
Yes.
So, and our kids love you, so they'll be happy to see you.
Yeah.
And you get to see them and see how much they've grown.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's funny. The grade 3 group, when they were talking about retirement, they're like, you cannot retire until we're out of here. And I said, well, that would be you guys. That would be when you're graduating, I'm graduating, kind of thing. And they were like, okay, you're lucky. So I thought that was really cute. But
you must get a lot of kids in the community that are now adults that come up to you and say, oh my, Miss Dore,
Like rarely.
Really?
Rarely. I think it's because I don't really go out in public very often. Sometimes, but even when I am not the best visually, so even when kids come back, and I always say to them, come back and tell me how you're doing. I want to hear how you're doing. And then they do, and I don't recognize them at all. And I'm like, please tell me your name. And then usually I'm good with name, but I'm so not good with recognizing people that sometimes even their voice, I'll be like, oh, I remember this kid now that they said their voice. And like even the other day, someone showed up and I was like, right after she left, I went, oh, that's who that was. And so I do love seeing the kids come out and tell me how things, I love hearing their stories about how they've, you know, whether they're working or whether they've gone on to, you know, in post-secondary education. I do love hearing those stories.
It's like, I remember when I started working for the board, a lot of my school teachers that I had in high school were like, what? Why are you back?
Oh,
like,
that's funny.
Did you fail a grade? Did you miss out on a credit? I remember going back to St. Ben's and they were like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I'm on placement.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
They were happy to see that, you know, like I had grown up and that this is what I had wanted to do, right? So it's definitely a lifelong thing, and it's definitely something you got to be in for the right reasons. And clearly you have been in this since day one for the right reasons, and we're all super grateful to have you as part of this team. And I learned a lot from you. I think you, without knowing, have mentored me in a lot of ways, because when I first started at David's, I did come to you and ask you questions on how to work with this kid, or what programs are you using, or I remember, I don't know if you remember, you actually gave me some cards with some vowel sounds on it, like when I first started.
I don't remember, but not because you're not memorable, but because there is so many people along the ways that we're trying to teach new things and try new things, and so many. I do remember Mr. Mason also, like, because we all want the same thing. We're all looking for the, you know, to help the children. So
I think that's good advice too for new teachers coming in. It's okay to ask questions for other teachers, people that have been doing this like for a while, that know their stuff.
Yeah.
So just feel free to reach out if you need it, right?
Yeah. And I was very lucky when I first came to St. David. I had so many wonderful teachers that are no longer here at St. David. They've retired. They've, you know, they're doing all the fun stuff. But they were so helpful, because I was really in over my head when I first came.
It's scary when you first start, eh?
It is.
Like, it doesn't matter what year it was. Anytime you get thrown into the education system, you're like, where do I start? Well,
and I had a split grade, and it was over divisions. It was a 6-7. I had 36 kids. I mean, I was in over, but I mean, like I said, I had wonderful principal, wonderful vice principal, and my coworkers were just like, they really did get me. I don't know if I would have stayed if I didn't have them. I think I probably would have been out if I didn't have those coworkers I had back then. So I was lucky. And I hope that's the same for the teachers that are here now. I hope we're those people, you know, for people come in that, you know, we're happy to help you. Need some advice, come see us. We're happy to give it.
Yeah, well, you have been for Mason and I, and I'm sure that there's only like two of us. I'm sure a lot of people have come to you and been like, Kathy, how do I do this? Or have you worked with this kid? Or
well, sure I would think we would go to you now about that. But
well, I'm trying the best I can. I think we all are, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was really good talking to you, and thank you for making the time for this today.
Yes, thank you very much for interviewing me.
Bye.